Markiplier is undoubtedly the king of Five Nights at Freddy's. At least that's what people title him. And that's what he titles himself too. And thanks to that popular line, Markiplier grew a community that loves his content and appreciate everything Markiplier does. And recently, he played Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, which is a chapter I love. However, I can agree on some stuff Markiplier ranted about in Chapter 5, because when Chapter 5 ended, he started ranting it way harder than any other video game, I should say. So, like, it all started when you got a little frustrated when Giblet woke us up after the prototype dumped us into Poppy Jail. Now, that is not a problem because one of the developers, Amber, has revealed that the prototype dropped into Poppy Jail was indeed the player. People thought it was a dream or it was Poppy. But there is no logical sense that Poppy Playtime would just switch points of views. If you're talking about Huggy's memories, we still play as Huggy and such, and we're just looking at memories. So I don't think that technically counts as switching points of views. However, a lot of people agree on some parts about Chapter 5. I agree, it is messy, tons of puzzles, characters being killed off too quickly. However, here's what I don't agree on. We all don't agree that the story is confusing and such, because recently in Chapter 3, or hold on, let's get to the beginning. Markiplier enjoyed Chapter 1 of Poppy Playtime. Chapter 2, he started to get a little frustrated because of the puzzles and such. And still, the lore back in the day was still underdeveloped. In Chapter 3, that's when Markiplier started ignoring the dialogue and such. At least that's what it looked like. Like, to me, it just looks like he's been running past VHSs, not spending the time to listen to them to get to know the lore more. But let's be honest. Chapter 3 only focused on horror themes. It's not a problem. That's what makes Chapter 3 an amazing chapter. I don't hate Chapter 3, but I admit, though, I am kind of disappointed there was not a lot of lore in Chapter 3. And also, the thing I'm annoyed about Chapter 3 as well is that it just doesn't feel like Catnap Sauces very often, and he only had a bit of a screen time. Other characters, however, did have a bunch of screen time, and I also love Nightmare Huggy Wuggy. But it feels like Catnap should have got what he deserved more in Chapter 3. And remember, Chapter 3 was before Isaac left, because, in March 2024, Isaac left. Is it Mobs Entertainment's fault? The answer is absolutely not. That is Isaac's call. Because Chapter 4, the game released as buggy. Well, can we criticize Mob for it? Yes, we can. But do we blame them and hate him for it and harass him for it? The answer is absolutely no. It's because Isaac leaving the Poppy Playtime was his call. That was his decision. Let's get back to Markiplier. So, he played at the end of Chapter 3, he said it was confusing. Like, the story was confusing. Like, that's because you were skipping the lore. You were intentionally skipping for the lore. Like, and then Chapter 4, he still did the same thing. He talked over the dialogue. He just run past VHSs and stuff that's part of the Poppy Playtime lore, which is very important, and I recommend you knowing the lore before even moving on to Poppy Playtime. Because Poppy Playtime is not like any other horror game. It's a game that has a listening company called Mob Entertainment, which, yes, they do listen to us. Which is why Chapter 5 was an improved quality version of Chapter 4. And where was I? So, yeah, Markiplier was just ignoring the dialogue, and he didn't even try finding the lore. And he said it was still confusing. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, though. That's basically what I hear from most people these days. Like, Markiplier has been calling the story of Poppy Playtime confusing. That's because you're not even trying to get to know the lore or the story. And then chapter 5, that's when his fan base broke loose. I do agree though, chapter 5 was a mess, but it's not as I have played worse, to be honest. We have played worse games, let's be real here. We played a lot worse. And people started harassing Markiplier by calling him a hypocrite because he plays Garten of Banban. And apparently, I have never played the game before, and I don't even know Garden of Banban, I'm being honest. However, from what I saw, people don't like the game because of its low quality and I don't know anything about the lore. But the game was just incredibly bad, that people say, and its low quality is so buggy. And Markiplier just says that it's bad, it's good. That's basically what he said. And it's cool. We all love bad games, you know. Bad games are really fun to play most of the time. However, Markiplier treats Garten of Banban like a joking horror game. He treats it like a joke. He has fun with it, and he loves, you know, messing around in it. He treats Poppy Playtime like a chore to finish, rather than trying to know its lore. And that's why Markiplier crashing out on the live stream was just questionable. I admit, like, he did make valid points, but him criticizing the stories too, you know, confusing. That's where the problem is, because, like, if you call the story confusing, like, just get to know the lore first, because I bet you if Markiplier knew the lore a lot more and actually start discovering some, and if he plays chapter 5 again, he'll have a much better experience. Same cannot be said about the puzzles. However, I'm just giving the facts that Markiplier might have a better experience and better understanding to Poppy Playtime if he takes time to know the lore. Because, like, if you want someone to, you know, play the game for you and, you know, discover lore, 8-Bit Ryan or any YouTuber that's willing to do that are your people. Markiplier, no matter what, will always treat Poppy Playtime like it's a chore to clean up and finish, technically. Like, that's a problem too, because if you want to get to know the lore of Poppy Playtime, you are going to have to, you know, do some work in the game. And I'm not saying finding lore for Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 is easy, but I bet you guys, if he does start finding the lore, I think he would feel Poppy Playtime very differently than what he's currently feeling as of right now. It's not a problem. I don't blame him. Like, I do agree. Like, the game is a mess, but it doesn't mean it's bad at the same time. But thanks to Markiplier's opinion, everyone's agreeing, including Queso himself. I don't watch Queso, and I personally don't like him, and that's alright for me to not like Queso. However, the fact I saw him agreeing to Markiplier after him saying that Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 was good, it just feels like people are absorbing another person's opinion, you know, and that's very annoying because people nowadays just don't make their own opinions. Markiplier has the right to criticize. Like, if people has the right to criticize games, content creators also have the right to criticize. Like, don't forget, content creators like Markiplier are humans too. And the fact he received harassment by people calling his movie Iron Lung, you know, trash or something like that, that is the wrong way to handle criticism. At least the community, not Mob Entertainment. Mob Entertainment saw the criticism, and they're actually stepping up. They're going to do better. And then now they started recently trying to see if they can hire, you know, people that has experience, deep experience for, you know, the horror thing, because that's what people want. They want Chapter 3 to be repeated. That was before Isaac decided to say, well, peace out, my brothers. And now people are making fun of Mob Entertainment for that. Like, that is just completely stupid. Like, what the heck? You're making fun of Mob Entertainment for trying to do better for Poppy Playtime. What? Like, that's honestly kind of stupid because, like, should people just need to be grateful and actually just realize that Mob Entertainment, unlike many companies, even listens to us? Think about this. What would Poppy Playtime look like if Mob Entertainment doesn't listen to us? It would end horribly. It would be terrible. I'm just saying, and I'm just speaking the facts here. And the fact is that if Mob Entertainment decides to stop listening to us and do whatever they want, things will end badly. They will end badly. So, Chapter 3 is... So, let me give it a little breakdown. Chapter 1 is the beginning. Chapter 2 is when the fandom started creating, like, people started fan-making Poppy Playtime, and it was amazing during that time. Chapter 3 is good because of its horror experience, but the puzzles are too easy in my opinion. And think about, look at this way. Chapters 4 and 5 are for lore discovering, more than just the gameplay. However, Chapter 5 did make some tedious game mechanics and very difficult puzzles. Does that make the game entirely bad? The answer is no. Because, you know, it's lore discovering, and if you complete a puzzle and move on with Chapter 5, it'll just feel rewarding. I am kind of disappointed we don't get to see Lily Love Braids after the fact she got crushed. But, I just think we'll see her in Chapter 6. Probably not. I don't know yet. But, that's all I have for today. Quit harassing Markiplier for his opinions. And one more thing. I have to agree with this comment about... Because, like, when people were making fun of Mob Entertainment for trying to do better for Poppy Playtime, this guy said, would you guys shut the you-know-what up and be grateful that Mob even listens to us? If Mob doesn't, Poppy Playtime would be dead right now. People say that Isaac leaving Mob Entertainment was their downfall. If it was, then how is there Chapter 5 right now? Like, I just generally don't understand why people are, like, very negative. Like I said, they're their opinions. You don't need to harass them for it, and that's completely unnecessary. And I want to make sure about this video here. I am not attacking Markiplier, and I don't want anyone to. I don't want to encourage either. And I don't even care if you watch Markiplier. But that's all I have to say for today. Thank you. One more thing. For Markiplier, I don't think you should even play a game that you're not even interested or like it. Because, let's be fair, if Markiplier is not interested into the lore or even get to know it, then why are you playing it? Why are you playing it? And there was even a time when Markiplier missed a tape in Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. His live chat tried to tell him to go back. He missed one. That he actually just says, hey, if I miss stuff, I miss stuff. Here, let me show you the comment right here from Reddit. And the sad part is that it is the tape that reveals that Miss Gracie is in fact Lily Love Braids. But it just sucks. He's not interested into lore. That's kind of his fault, and he should have not touched the game if he was not interested in it. That's just my opinion, though.